Hello, and thank you for joining us once again for another Board of Education meeting recap, this time for the month of August 2022. I'm your host, JD Harden, joined as always by my co-host, Mary Elizabeth Davis.
Thanks for having me, JD, and thank you, as always, for joining us.
We're so glad to be able to kick off, this school year. Of course, last month was the calendar start to our school year, but this month, kids are back in school, back in classrooms, learning at the highest levels. Our teachers are back teaching at the highest levels, and all of our employees in our school community, really, there's a lot of excitement. You really shared that in your welcome to our members and our audience.
That's right. I mean, how could you not? This was the first board meeting of this new school year, and it is, of course, within the context of aiming to have the best first day ever. We really celebrated the team of employees in every job family in our organization for the preparation, the hard work, and the energy that goes into what never gets old for us, this greatest first day of the school year. But what made it most special is just how delightful the students in Henry County are. And we love our buildings full of young people and getting the learning back in action in little communities in each one of our schools. It was a great first day ever. And of course, in our welcome, we acknowledge that activating so many systems simultaneously, of course, isn't flawless. But we strive to continue improving to get better every day for every family, every employee, and every student. But let's take a look. Good morning, Henry County Schools. It is early, but we are ready. Welcome back to the best first day ever. Let's go.
The feeling of day one can't compare to any other day. It is the best feeling ever.
Ready for day one. Woo! Exciting.
We're looking forward to great things from you all this year.
Welcome back to school, boys and girls.
This is our best first day ever.
Best first day ever.
Best first day ever.
Best first day ever.
Kids' first day at school.
Oh, it was great.
Was it the best first day ever?
Yeah.
Yes. Today is the best first day ever.
I had the best first day ever.
Our community-inspired strategic plan is just that. It is clarity on our improvement efforts to get better and the direction of our organization to advance opportunities for kids, access into those opportunities, and nurturing extraordinary outcomes. It is your voice, it is your vision, and it is now turning into your results. And we can't wait for kids to experience just an exceptional school year this year.
Well, that led into the next conversation presented by our Chief Learning and Performance Officer, Ms. Tamarian McCrary, and then, of course, our Chief Family and Student Support Services Officer, Dr. April Madden, as they were really able to provide a report to the board about the efforts of the district around a highly effective classroom to make sure, that, again, that students all across the district, no matter what school they're in, no matter what portion of the county, they are receiving some of the best teaching and learning opportunities around the state.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is just a supplement to work that has become a part of our foundation because we already know what teachers teach and what students will learn, the tightly aligned instructional resources that our board has acquired and distributed to every classroom, every student, and every teacher in every corner of our community. But now we really develop a conversation about how those effective practices show up in our teachers' toolkits each and every day. And right here in Henry County Schools, we have exemplars of effective teaching practices throughout our school community. And now we have a chance to showcase that as well as invest in the toolbox that our teachers bring to the classroom every single day. Let's take a quick look at the highly effective classroom work that is becoming a part of every way we talk about teaching and learning this coming year.
Today, Dr. Madden and I will report on the work you've charged us to do with the highly effective classroom. In Strategic Action 2, you called for us to advance effective school leadership and classroom instruction. Teachers were asked to share the strategies they found most valuable in increasing student achievement, and students were asked about the classrooms in which they felt valued, celebrated, and experienced learning at high levels. This feedback and our team's research resulted in the three components that undergird the highly effective classroom: instructional foundations, learning engagement, and conditions for learning. Within instructional foundations, teaching and learning is designed at the level of the standard and intentionally structured with a gradual release of responsibility from teacher to students. Teachers use questions to check for understanding throughout the lesson and make adjustments in real time in future lessons to address misunderstandings. Learning engagement is the second component of the framework. While Henry's plan of action outlines what is taught, it does not direct the instructional strategies of teachers. Instead, the framework bolsters new and veteran teacher toolkits alike with the most impactful teaching strategies that spark student curiosity and result in the production of thoughtful work, higher levels of questioning, and the stimulation of rich academic discourse.
Now I'm excited to tell you about component number 3, conditions for learning. This is where Henry Cares and Henry Learns get together to create our third component of the highly effective classroom. Conditions for learning is defined by 3 high-impact strategies. They are relationships, nurturing learning environments, and skills for learning. Because we believe that every student should be loved and know that they belong and that we care about their learning in Henry County schools.
I just want to thank y'all for this work because I love the word refresh. How you keep saying we're working, we're refreshing what we've learned. And I also love the way that you included us veteran teachers. Some of my co-board members might say senior, but I like veteran. And it's nice that you ask for our input too, because the longer you're in this, you notice things are coming back around. And it's nice that you're asking for their input and their participation in the professional development and the refresh. So thank you for thinking of us.
Good evening to you both. I just want to say a couple of things. That you all mentioned some words that stood out to me most. Valued, there was one of them. As we looked at a highly effective classroom, we also look at a highly effective organization. and that every person within the organization has to feel as if they are truly valued. I truly believe that you've both been purposed for what you all are doing and your staff. And I'm thankful that you all are leading this up. I think they say peacock proud that you all are leading this up, that you and your team are doing this. And I thank you for what you said, that the professional development would be district-wide. Because one thing about it is that we cannot think that it's going to be trained from top up, but it has to be started at the top down. I mean, from bottom up, but at the top down. And so I stand with my veteran board member who said that we all need this training. So therefore, everyone can know that we stand with you and that we stand together. So again, thank you for what you're doing, and I look forward to your further updates. Thank you.
So moving right along in our study session, Ms. McCrary was able to stay at the podium to provide a report with some exciting news around student progress on the latest edition of the Georgia Milestones assessment.
Yeah, I mean, those Georgia Milestones are the statewide assessments that are really designed to verify that students have learned the standards of that past grade level. And while we've had a history of the Georgia Milestones assessment system in the state of Georgia, the last 2 years have been quite unusual in those administrations. This particular spring, it was considered a standard administration across the state of Georgia and really was resulting in a new baseline for every district and every school across the state of Georgia. Now, I'll tell you that the news is so promising because the teachers and students in Henry County Schools did something spectacular. First of all, you need to know that the results across the organization indicated stability in our performance and that we are on pace with districts in our region as well as around the state. But nobody could have ever imagined that any school could outperform pre-pandemic performance levels. But guess what? That happened right here in Henry County Schools. Our Algebra 1 performance results are among the top in the state, and the bright spots that we see in performance in every one of our clusters where schools and teachers and students successfully performed at far higher levels than even in the days prior to the worldwide pandemic disrupting public education. What I believe this moment provides is an opportunity to celebrate what happens in public education, to recognize our extraordinary teachers, our leaders, our paraprofessionals, and every contributor to that child's learning experience in a classroom. And a reminder of how essential our bus drivers and our custodians and front office professionals and clinic aides and our blue shirts are for the effort that they had to contribute to make sure school was even possible over these last 2 years. It's a community-wide success, and the focus is on kids and their learning. And I really am excited to share that we have a very promising momentum moving into this school year. But I think we probably should listen in to some of the board's conversation.
Thank you so much for this report. And as you said, we won't be satisfied until all of our learners are learning at proficient levels, but this is so much to celebrate. And as you said, this is such a testament to how resilient our teachers are and our students and our families and our building leaders and district leaders also. And I mentioned this to you in agenda review, but going to schools last year and seeing the building leaders accompany district staff and a targeted approach to increasing Algebra 1 scores, it worked. And it's amazing to see how our building leaders, our principals, and our assistant principals truly are key levers to student success. So I hope all of our principals know how much they're valued. And our teachers, I know that it's been a really tough last couple of years, but this just shows your unwavering commitment to students. So I am looking forward to continued progress and growth in all areas and all schools, but I certainly want to take this time to celebrate the amazing work that's been done.
I'm just amazed at these results, and I really hope that it's energizing to me. I hope that it's energizing to everyone involved in this process just to see, wow, we accomplished this again during a pandemic. It really is just amazing, and I'm so grateful for the hard work that went into ensuring that this was possible for our students and our teachers, and just want to say a big congratulations to everyone involved. I'm looking forward to more future success as well.
Of course, looking at our performance on this state assessment, you would be very proud of the students and the work they put in, but we also call out our teachers who had some of the the same challenges that students had in the environment we were in these pandemic times. But at the end of the day, our board had laid out a plan and a commitment to the community starting last school year to really hone in on literacy and Algebra 1. And the results from this year's this most recent spring's test and assessment really bear that out. They were successful. So
I mean, it really is true. And in a season when there could have been so many distractions and disruptions, I just think this is a testament to the perseverance of educators in Henry County schools and the extraordinary performance under unusual conditions that our students were able to continue to strive for. And it sets the tone for how we target our improvement efforts this coming year and really celebrate these bright spots. And that's, I think, what we're about to do as an organization.
Exactly. So kudos to our teachers and our students, and thank you to the families for your support as always. Now, we heard our monthly financial reports as well as our construction reports from around the county, always very, very positive, and the management of both of those areas of our organization always shine bright, and we're very thankful for those who are in charge of those day-to-day operations for that. But moving right along into the business section of that meeting, which our board took action on at their business meeting at 7 o'clock later on in the evening and unanimously approved, were a couple of very notable items that pertain to the future of Henry County Schools. One would be the Capital Accumulation Fund for Athletics. Don't think that's ever been done before in Henry County Schools, and really, really good for our student athletes and all of our athletic programs.
I really think this action that the board took is just a piece of a very large puzzle that our organization is embracing as called for in our strategic plan. And that is asset management, asset inventorying, and understanding the life cycle of all acquisitions of furniture and equipment in every classroom space, every school space, every fine arts performance environment, every STEM and science lab, and every athletic environment. When you think about that comprehensive look at how we have clarity around the assets, our inventorying of the assets, and our management of their life cycles for a predictable and financially sustainable growth and replacement strategy, that work is leading to a long-range investment plan. So the action that the board took to establish a savings account for the purpose of athletic team sports equipment and athletic facilities is just one piece of several actions that have occurred before this time. And that is a previous establishment of a savings account for the classroom equipment and furniture and the STEM lab equipment and furniture. It's coupled with an eSPLOS commitment for growth and replacement in our fine arts environments, including band and orchestra instruments. And it is now also coupled with a STEM lab reconfiguration, equipment, and furniture investment that is also found in a previously established capital accumulation fund. This long-range planning for our learning environment and our competition environment and our performance environment requires a long-range financial strategy to go along with it. The board's action at this board meeting is allowing just that to happen. And so we will now move in to a season of articulating facility standards, basic equipment lists for each of our team sports, and put together a long-range replacement plan for anything that is worn, that is out of condition, or where there are gaps. It really is a maturing of our organization and a real seasoned look at how we have really just strong asset inventorying and management processes.
And moving from there, and one of the other more notable business items that the board took on was the approval of a construction company to build the newest elementary school, the newest school facility in our school district, and that would be for Birch Creek Elementary. That's going to actually relieve some overcrowding or some of the population growth that we anticipate in the near future for a couple of our schools.
That's right. If you're wondering the location of that, it's sort of near the Willow Lane, Jonesboro Road intersection, and it will relieve the growth that is happening for our Wesley Lakes Elementary School and our Oakland Elementary School. And that Birch Creek Elementary School will be built over the next 12 to 18 months and will be ready to open in 2024.
Well, moving from there, and that really hits the real high points, considering a lot of our business items, but we always like the celebratory moments as well that take place during our business meeting, and that really gets kicked off with our inspiration. And our students, once again, provided ample inspiration for that evening's meeting.
That's right. It was Walnut Creek Elementary School. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Chase Todman, and I'm in kindergarten at Walnut Creek Elementary. And today my poem is Everybody Has a Name. Everybody has a name. Some are different, some are the same. Some are short, some are long. All are right and none are wrong. My name's Chase, and it's special to me. And that's exactly who I want to be.
Hi, my name is Julia Smith. I'm in second grade, and I'm going to be reciting a poem called Good Night by Vicky Giovanni. Good night, Mommy. Good night, Daddy. I kiss him as I go. Good night, Teddy. Good night, Spot. The moon beams call me snow. I climb the stairs, go down the hall, and walk into my room. My day of play is ending, but my night of sleep seems blue.
My name is Naima, and I go to Walnut Creek Elementary School. I am in third grade, and I'm going to be saying a poem called Autumn Revolutions. But the illustrator, the writer, is Lenore Hetrick. Hand in hand with Autumn herself, September comes to change it to rule. My resolution is to do good work, whether at home or busy at school. When October's leaves are flying wild and the gusty wind is fine to hear, I resolve to get higher and higher grades until I say goodbye to the year. Throughout the month of November, I do resolve to eat an apple every day. Fresh fruit is good for a parent and child. And look how it keeps the doctor away.
Coming right out of the inspiration, we have another celebratory moment where we get to recognize the many talents, awards, recognitions that are due many of our employees as well as our students. And we had three particular recognitions that we were able to share with the community, and our board was able to recognize during this month's meeting. Started with one of our very accomplished student athletes, and that'd be Miss Mary Rogier, who is named an All-American, I believe, for the third time after her participation in the National Junior Olympics that took place in Sacramento, California. So not only is she excelling, on the field of competition here in Henry County, but she takes her talents across the country, and we're so proud of her for her honors that she now gets to bring back and share with her coaches and students, fellow students, and her family here in Henry County. We also got the chance to recognize the HR division, the best HR division in the state of Georgia, for their recognition at their state conference, their state professional association, for best in class practices around retention. And you can see all the wonderful teachers that are here year after year and all the wonderful things that they say, but thanks to our HR division, they were able to be recognized for their efforts. And let me just tell you, anybody that's worked here, has gone through that process, they can attest to that as well. And lastly, one of our longtime HR chiefs, our leaders, somebody who's recognized across the state for her many years of service and dedication to the school personnel side of things, Ms. Valerie Sue Smith, who was recognized by the Georgia Association of Educational Leaders with the Jim Puckett Outstanding Educator Award. This is actually her second time receiving the award, and she was nominated for this award by her peers, and we know how wonderful Valerie is, and we thank her for all that she's been able to do. Now, moving from there, you get the opportunity every month whenever we have new hires, new leaders brought on, you get to welcome them in grand fashion and ask for their immediate impact.
That's right. It is one of the most exciting moments. I mean, honestly, I am just so thankful for our entire team of 6,000 employees in Henry County Schools, and that is what is the difference maker in our school community. But it always is a delight to recognize our newest appointments to leadership positions. So let me start by welcoming to the team Dr. Linda Buck, the new Special Education Director. Welcome home to Henry. We have 2 assistant principals that were appointed, and the first is Victoria Grubbs. Welcome to Oakland Elementary School, new assistant principal. And also, welcome to Ola Elementary School, Ashley Sellers. We are excited for your impact. We'd also like to recognize our new principal of Luella High School, Brandy Hartnett. We, of course, are excited about these appointments and look forward to the immediate impact.
So that really wrapped things up for this month's board meeting, both of the board meetings. And as always, we're so appreciative of you tuning in to keep up to date, up to speed with all the action that our board is doing on behalf of you. And this month, we're going to close things out with a little bit more from our student inspiration, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
Everybody has a name. Some are different, some are the same. Some are short, some are long. All are right and none are wrong. My name's Chase and it's special to me. And that's exactly who I want to be.